Someone under my how to get almost overpowered video asked me to do the same thing but also using glitches and stuff. And you know, today we are not gonna do that, but oh boy, we are gonna break the game in half. This is the biggest bug I've ever seen in Fear and Hunger. And now you may be asking, wait, a difficulty that breaks completely Fear and Hunger? What is this gonna be? Fear and Hunger difficulty? Tavern Starvation difficulty? Maybe hard mode difficulty? No. The difficulty that breaks Fear and Hunger is Dungeon Knights. Let me refresh your mind. If at the start of the game you select as a name either schoolboy, schoolgirl or school kid, you will unlock the difficulty called Dungeon Knights, which is basically a dating simulator and stuff. You can date other people, have a fun time with them, and okay, why is this related to Fear and Hunger? You're gonna see. You see, in this mode, you can also explore the dungeon, and it's a somewhat friendly-ish version of the dungeon. There are a lot of silver coins, you can find soulstones on the ground, you can fight some enemies, get some more silver coins to buy stuff from the vendors, but why am I mentioning it? You see, in the level 4 of the explorable dungeon, if you face a Lord of the Flies and you die to his coin flip attack, you have a 100% chance to wake up inside of Ancient Mahabre, in the real Dungeon of Fear and Hunger! Do you understand how game-breaking this is? Okay, to escape the cage, you need the lock-picking, or a small key, or a red vial. But before going back to that, let's see for a second what we have access to, okay? We have access to a lot of silver coins, some guaranteed soulstones inside of the dungeon, vendors that can sell you useful things such as, you know, Smolky, mentioned before, or Elixir of Body, or also a merchant of weapons that is gonna be able to sell you the Sergal Spear, Miasma, the Eastern Sword for 15 silver coins. I mean, okay, it's not the purified version of the Eastern Sword, but come on, it's still 15 silver coins! But I think it's time to mention the most important thing. You see, if you play in Dungeon Knights, you will have access from the start of the game to all the skills of the other souls, to all the skills of the Affinity of the Gods. You just need to use Lesser Soul to gain them. And this is applied even when you leave Dungeon Knights and you go to the Dungeon of Fear and Hunger. I went to the Hexen in the first level of the dungeon, and I still had access to all the skills of the game. This is incredibly good. And so, this also means, if you don't want to buy a small key, you can also just get lockpicking from the skill in the Hexen inside of Dungeon Knights, and then just open the cage with that, you know. And the last thing that I want to mention, I mean, okay, of course, you can also get the White Angel Soul by fighting the White Angel in the level 4 of Dungeon Knights, but still, apart from that, you can also get a guaranteed Pinecone Pig. You remember the Crow Mauler? He has lost his Pinecone Pig, and the Pinecone Pig is in the first level of the dungeon, near some bookshelves. You have a way to have a guaranteed Pinecone Pig and bring it to the Dungeon of Fear and Hunger without needing empty scrolls. Guys, this is fantastic. This is my dream. I love the Pinecone Pig. This is the mode that was made for me. There is just one little detail that I have to mention. The difficulty of the dungeon is gonna be set to hard mode. This means that while you have access to the S endings of the character, you cannot find controllable recruitable party members inside of the dungeon. And also, I should mention another thing. If you play as Enki, you won't be able to complete his S ending. Because, you see, Enki, when you start a hard mode run, has a special switch that is turned on. And if you start in Dungeon Knights, this switch isn't turned on. So unfortunately, you cannot complete the S ending of Enki. I mean, you can just get the normal endings if you want. But apart from that, look at what you have. You have access to almost all the weapons in the game, all the skills in the game from the start of the game, a lot of guaranteed soulstones, guaranteed Pinecone Pig. It's the best situation ever to make a hard mode run, if you want to use glitches, of course. I just find it so hilarious that the developer never realized that if you die to the Lord of the Flies with the coin flip attack, you have a 100% chance to get teleported to the dungeon. But I mean, what if it wasn't a mistake? What if Dungeon Knights and the real dungeon are connected? What if everything happens in the same universe? What if Fear and Hunger is Undertale? Okay, I think I took enough copium for today. See you next time.